What's up, everybody? This is Mario. Hope you're having a great day. My day is going pretty darn good. Get outside and enjoy your life. You know, have fun with everything. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how I became a guitar player, and from the beginning till now. See how far I've gotten. So here we are. I'm currently 43 years old. Been playing the guitar probably 24, 25 years. I don't know. So when I first started playing, I was actually when I was like 15 years old. I got this acoustic guitar from my brother that he was starting to play it, but he didn't really want to play anymore, so he gave it to me. And I started playing it a little bit, messing around, and it was like a beginner thing for me, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. We had these books that we got from the library and from class, but you had to learn how to play like classical music. You had to learn how to read the shapes and notes, and it was a different time period. It was 1996, 97 when that was going down, and there was no YouTube, there was nothing, there was no DVDs, there wasn't much. There was no cell phones. You couldn't get shit. I mean, if you wanted to learn, you really had to practice and just messing around. And it's the only way to learn, by mistakes. So it was tough, man. It was really tough for us to learn back then how to do it. But you practiced, and you practiced every day, and you gave everything you had. So I was 16 years old. I got this job pushing carts at a local Jewel, and I was working there. Well, I was working with my father first, from when I was 13 to 15. I was working with my father outside in a field, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I got a job at Jewel, and I was pushing carts. And basically, all of that money went towards getting new guitars, and because my friend hooked me up with this electric guitar for a second, and I started playing it. I liked it, but it was his, and I had to get it back to him. But anyway, my buddy Mike, he basically got me into electric, and I started saving up my money because I was like, man, I want to get amps, I want to get guitars, I want to get crazy. At the time, I was getting into bands like Metallica. I heard the Kill 'Em All album on cassette. I had that, and I heard Four Horsemen. I heard Seek and Destroy. I heard, I heard everything on there. And then Master of Puppets came, and then I heard this. I turned the radio on. I heard Q101. I heard White Zombie, and I was like, holy shnikes, what the hell is this? White Zombie, Astro Creep, Thunder Kiss, and it started getting crazy. Well, anyway, after that, everything changed. I was 16 years old. I was hearing Nine Inch Nails. I was hearing Primus. I was hearing Pantera, and it just went all the way, Megadeth. I got into all that stuff. So I was 16 years old. I had a choice. My parents gave me a choice. They said, okay, look, you could use your money to get a car, or you could use your money to get a guitar. And all of my friends at the time, all of them drove. We'd just get rides from them and pile into their cars and get rides. So I decided to get an electric guitar. Now, I went to this local guitar shop, and I got this Fender Squier, black kind of Fender Squier guitar that was actually half Fender, and it was half custom made Lotus, basically a Lotus guitar. I don't know what the hell. And from there, man, I just started playing like crazy. I played Metallica and Pantera, and I would just try to learn anything that I can. We'd go to Guitar Center sometimes, and we'd buy some of the tablature books that they had. If you had money, you could do that. So we'd go buy the tablature books and go look through all of them and try to play everything, try everything. But we struggled when we did that. It was a lot of work. So that was 1997, 1998. Then I started playing some more. I was in high school. Then concerts started rolling up. Ozzfest hit. Boom, Ozzfest. I went to all the Ozzfests. I went to so many different concerts from there. Guns N' Roses. You know, I started getting into all that stuff. I was in this band. I got into this band called Warpath with some of my friends, and we started playing concerts everywhere. Started touring all over Illinois. We played several places, some places in Wisconsin. A lot of parties, a lot of outdoor parties, a lot of venues, a lot of bars, a lot of everything. We were young as hell, and we were playing fucking in bars all over Illinois. So it was weird. And well, it was great for a couple of years. That's how we did it. But you know, people grow up and they change. Our band members started to, we recorded an album and videos. But back then there was no Spotify. There was no any kind of way to have your album reach. You would send your albums out to several different bars and record labels through the mail, but then nobody would respond, and fucking it was like that. And I don't know, we probably weren't that good, but we still played, and that was a crazy time. But this is a part of the learning the system of how to do everything. So long story short, you know, years later, I became a guitar teacher. I started teaching guitar at College of DuPage, and then I started teaching when I finished college. Then I started teaching at a school in Chicago. 4 years into that, I started playing some more, and I tried to keep up. I was in several bands at this point. I played this band called Ghost Citizen. I played this band called Trist. We played like metal and rock and alternative, and then I was in this alternative band called Juniper Sun, and I played a lot of stuff. So I've had a long history in this business. And then, you know, I'm sure I'm just like one of many. I'd probably say my career has pretty much went downhill, and I don't care anymore. But I just like playing because that's what I've always been doing. My failure was based on all the other people around me that have failed me, and then also I feel like I didn't do enough a lot of times as well. So that's just life. You know, you go through stuff and you learn how to handle things. And you know, we all changed. I ended up getting another job. Our drummer moved. He got another job. And a singer got married, and he got married and he got another job, and we all split up, and it was tough, man. It was life. You know, we have, you know, get-togethers again, but it wasn't like it was. And unfortunately, now I gotta stop the story now. So I'm doing stuff, but I hope you guys have a great evening, and thanks for joining me on this wonderful video here. Y'all have a good one, and I'm rolling. Have a good one.